Western?
We have a last-minute reservation.
He was one of the most brilliant CIA operatives we ever had, until he went rogue.
Kill all the surveillance cameras in this room.
Go, 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 go!
They're here for me, but they want me alive. You don't kill.
Hey, hey!
Get in. You serious?
Yeah. Get in the truck!
The safe house has been compromised. Follow protocol.
Protocol! There's no protocol for this!
Cape Town was great, and the people were great. We had a really good time there. They were pretty open to just about everything. I think the townships was the most difficult just because we worked for a long time on that sequence.
Yeah, and the township in Langa, they thought they were watching a movie.
Yeah, completely. I mean, when we shot in Langa, they would stand next to the shooting, completely silent. Then they would see Denzel fly out, run over a couple of roofs. You know, I called thank you, and they would applause. You know, great.
Which is weird, because like you'd be shooting a scene, and you know, Daniel would call cut. They'd applaud. Daniel would walk up to me and go, "Terrible. We need to do this again." I'd be like, they seem to like it.
It's people who actually respect work. You know, they realize that what we were doing, we were making our living. And these are people that, you know, don't have much, but what they value is work.
It was a wild day. One day I was riding back to the base camp from the set, and the women were just screaming and jumping around, and we were riding real slow. And this group of men were walking, and there was one guy in the middle of the group, and he was holding his hands like this. And one guy had a long stick. You know, there's not like you can call the cops. There's no 911. You know, they have their own justice. He was whipping this guy with this big rod. And I asked my driver, Jack, I said, what's going on? He said, they're putting him in his place. And I said, what do you think he did? He says, I'm not sure, but it has something to do with the women because the women were very upset. He just had his hands in prayer, and he was walking real slow, and there's like maybe 12 guys around him, and one elderly guy in the group who was just pow, pow, and he's just walking. I said, well, why doesn't he run? He says, if he runs, they'll kill him. I was like, oh, it's like the Bronx. Yeah. It's like the Bronx. Yeah. Where I grew up, same thing.
Basically, it's a guy who's rigged to the top of the car, and he's driving it for you, which is a very bizarre feeling. It's much worse than doing the stunts yourself because, you know, as we're driving through these crowded city streets at 80 miles per hour, quite quickly approaching a brick wall of some kind, I'll hit the brake, he'll hit the gas. And your brain just completely does a 180. You can't quite figure out what's happening. And then you have Daniel sitting in the wheel well beside me, down below, just laughing his ass off, screaming faster, emasculating this poor guy up top who's a professional driver. Now he's just driving crazy. And this was when Daniel revealed to me that he doesn't actually drive a car. No. In his personal life.
I think some things you shouldn't know as a director because then you know the limitations. I just watched the screen and I thought it looked a bit weak. And I told the guy, don't you have any cojones? Please drive a bit faster, you know?
Let's never do that again.
Never. Why do you sit up on a box like that? Is that something? Is that what it is? Oh, okay. I thought it was like some childhood issue or something.